crazy wedding, Jeff Bezos' wedding, continues to make headlines. Now, apparently we're told that you might...
Well, head crack, yesterday we talked about Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and his billion-dollar divorce, right? Mm-hmm. And Gary, it seems that you be knowing because it's being reported that...
It's also being reported that one of the reasons for the divorce is Jeff.
That is ridiculous.
I'm so
I could not stay silent. I'm sorry. It's the Lord's work. It means I take a couple of hits, I get dinged up and bruised, and I get into trouble, but the invitation have a difficult time holding back when I have an opinion. So when I saw the...
What if I told you Lauren Sanchez tried to shut down a jaw-dropping $5 billion divorce battle with nothing more than a few desperate, emotional words?
Well, head crack, yesterday we talked about Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and his billion-dollar divorce, right? Mm-hmm. And Gary, it seems that you be knowing because it's being reported that Jeff has already got another woman, child. That's right, entertainment reporter Lauren Sanchez, who's been allegedly dating him for the last 8 months.
Talk about shipment fulfillment. That is ridiculous.
But the catch is...
Jeff Bezos locked eyes with her and delivered a reply so cold it could freeze the room. Too late. No, let's figure this out. No, we'll work through it. Just 2 words, blunt and final. Too late. And that's exactly the ruthless vibe we're seeing right now, coming right on the heels of a wedding that felt less like vows and more like a high-fashion spectacle crossed with a royal coronation. But here's the twist. Despite all that, sparkle, Bezos is cutting the cord with the kind of surgical precision only a man sitting on $200 billion could even imagine. And what makes it sting even more? The timing. Barely a month has passed since their over-the-top Venice wedding. The same one that set social media ablaze and had the internet talking non-stop.
Lauren Sanchez is the bride to be. The good thing is, I suppose, when you're Jeff Bezos, you don't need to worry about the money that is.
And now, the lawyers are already circling like sharks that smell blood. Assets are being frozen left and right, and whispers suggest Lauren might even be on the move, scrambling to outrun what's coming. She's disappearing from the very spotlight she once fought so hard to own. But insiders say this isn't just routine divorce paperwork. It's a brutal chess move, a legal master plan built to strip her bare and leave her standing with absolutely nothing.
No, that is it's a sad day in society because Jeff and that damn man, Lauren's husband, they all were friends. And while she was smiling in Jeff's white face, she was screwing his damn her husband behind her back. I don't like that, honey.
But y'all don't feel...
This wasn't an emotional meltdown. It was a deliberate takedown. And when Lauren finally pieced together what was happening, when she tried calling, texting, even pleading for another chance, Bezos answered with the same merciless phrase. 2 words. Too late.
Perspective, I just want to really feel and be in that moment.
The empire they once showed off so proudly is now beginning to crack right in front of the world. And what's seeping out from behind the curtain is uglier, more chaotic, and way more shocking than anyone imagined. But how did it spiral to this? And why does it feel like Bezos had been choreographing every single step from day one? Before the first guest even landed in Venice, before the Valentino gown was unveiled, before the $3,000 a plate dinner was served and the paparazzi swarmed, Bezos had already drawn his battle lines. At the core of this entire high-stakes showdown, the prenup.
I mean, think about this. With the whole prenup agreement with Jeff Bezos and his attorneys, their wedding was stalled originally because of this prenup, but nobody knows what it says. It's assumed that since they live in Florida that they got married in the state of Florida, but they absolutely were sure that the prenup would include the detail that whatever state they got married in was the state they had to get divorced.
But not just any prenup. This was a legal masterpiece. A multi-clause fortress engineered with the kind of precision only Jeff Bezos could pull off, like prepping a rocket launch. Insiders claim that months before the I do's, Bezos had already gathered a powerhouse team of attorneys who built a document so airtight, so calculated, it could stand as an unbreakable financial shield. It didn't just protect his billions, it predicted every possible move before she even made it. And here's the jaw-dropper. Lauren allegedly signed this detailed agreement just weeks before the wedding, under what some sources now call intense, high-pressure circumstances.
I think Lauren Sanchez, ex-husband, soon-to-be ex.
There was no back and forth, no time to negotiate, no edits, just one stark ultimatum: sign or step aside. And in the end, she signed. Fast forward to today, and that very document has become Bezos' ultimate weapon, locking her out of assets, access, everything she thought she could count on. And the coldest part? One particular clause that's now going viral, a strict publicity clause. It states that if Lauren dares to use the marriage for brand deals, media appearances, or even personal exposure, her payout could vanish completely.
Prenup wasn't clear enough, and that they forbid Jeff Bezos from marrying Lauren Sanchez until all parties were happy with whatever the prenup had specified. They needed it to be so detailed, they forbade him. And they specifically said it was the attorneys of the founders of Amazon.
And judging by what's come out since the wedding, that clause might be exactly what she triggered. The prenup is already being dubbed the $5 billion boomerang, a weapon she threw but can't escape. The ink on their marriage license was barely dry when Bezos detonated this legal bombshell just days after their over-the-top Venetian celebration. A wedding so excessive that even the chandeliers, according to insiders, came with NDAs.
A difficult time holding back when I have an opinion. So when I saw the invitation, that's when I got lost. The invitation, you lost me, and as a result, for the people, I'm going to start dating so I can eventually get married and have a wedding and make up for that invitation, because that invitation, I could not stay silent. I'm sorry. It's the Lord's work. It means I take a couple of hits, I get dinged up and bruised, and I get into trouble, but the invitation is where you lost me. So I am open for business after 7 months.
Then came the shocker. Jeff Bezos filed a jaw-dropping $5 billion divorce suit that blindsided nearly everyone, except maybe himself. Those close to the drama described it like watching a missile slowly lock on target. First came quiet whispers that Bezos had begun moving assets around just a week after the wedding. Then silence from Lauren's camp. And then, boom. A full-scale legal strike not just demanding separation, but packed with explosive allegations, image exploitation, betrayal of trust, and one razor-sharp claim that Lauren had been leveraging their marriage as a launchpad for her own fame empire. Experts say this is far beyond a divorce. It's a calculated reputation wipeout. Bezos isn't bargaining for half. He's erasing her completely. And the most brutal part? Lauren didn't even learn through a phone call. Instead, a legal courier handed her the papers while she was out shopping in Malibu. Cold. When she tried reaching Jeff afterward, every call, every message, ignored. One insider summed it up. This ending was inevitable. Jeff just chose the timing. And here's where the fairy tale stops and the Netflix-level drama begins. While Bezos staged a $10 million wedding fantasy, insiders claim Lauren was secretly prepping a completely different play, her rebrand. Sources from both sides say she had been quietly lining up PR meetings, arranging photo shoots, and even pitching a documentary-style series before the vows were exchanged. One Hollywood producer revealed she floated the idea of a luxury empowerment show just days before the ceremony, offering behind-the-scenes access to her transformation from journalist to billionaire's wife. Wild, right? But it only gets uglier. Insiders claim she even reached out to fashion houses and brand reps, pushing carefully polished wedding photos without Bezos' green light. And when a major tabloid dropped a glossy spread that spotlighted nothing but Lauren's couture, gowns, while conveniently leaving out Bezos' family, that's when alarms blared. According to sources, Jeff felt completely blindsided. Used. That was the word his camp kept repeating, and when his legal team dug deeper, they spotted possible violations of that ironclad publicity clause. One insider put it bluntly: she turned the wedding into her own runway. Bezos' camp allegedly saw Lauren's media plays as a direct hit to the brand. Within 48 hours, her world unraveled. Stylists, gone. Publicists, silent, and in the most brutal twist, one of her closest assistants flipped sides, leaking weeks of her content plan straight to Jeff's team. This isn't a simple breakup. It's a scorched earth takedown. For someone who once floated through life in Louboutins and a borrowed crown, the fall is savage. One moment, she's strutting through LAX in blackout shades like a runway queen. The next, vanished. No posts, no paparazzi, no loyal insiders, spinning the narrative. Just silence. But if she thought ghosting would cool things down, she seriously underestimated the internet's appetite for drama. Because the second news of the lawsuit dropped, alongside whispers that she had begged Bezos to call it off, social media detonated like a bomb. Timelines lit up with debates, theories, and memes. TikTok feeds went wild. Yacht life one day, $5 billion lawsuit the next. Reddit threads popped with headlines like "Jeff finally snaps," and Twitter turned into a digital war zone. Hashtags like "Bezos breaks free" and "Lauren loses big" were trending within hours. Even her once dedicated fan pages flipped against her. One viral comment cut like a knife. She treated marriage like a PR stunt and got outplayed by the CEO of Outplaying. And the harshest twist? Nobody stepped up to defend her. Not Oprah, not her wedding besties, not even the influencers she allegedly paid to pump out curated wedding posts. It was like the internet looked at the receipts, added it all up, and decided to ghost her. One insider revealed she even reached out to a top-tier publicist for crisis management, only to be told, "It's too late. You can't spin this storm." Now all that remains are blurry yacht photos, whispers of her hiding in a secluded villa, phone shut off, plans in ruins. And here's the part that stunned everyone. This wasn't some heat-of-the-moment meltdown. This was billionaire-level chess. According to sources close to his legal team, Bezos spotted the warning signs early. The staged photo leaks, the sneaky press drops, the quiet hints of a personal brand rollout. But instead of confronting her, he played it cool. He smiled for the cameras while quietly stacking his legal pieces like a final boss waiting for his moment. Word is, he even restructured assets through shell companies earlier this year, securing his empire in case he had to strike fast. One lawyer said Bezos' prenup wasn't just protection. It was a trap, rigged to snap shut the moment Lauren crossed a line. And when those glossy wedding spreads hit the tabloids without his team's approval, that was her checkmate. Sources claim Bezos allowed the wedding spectacle to unfold publicly, specifically so the world could witness her moves. Once it was all on display, he had airtight proof. Now that $5 million Venice wedding, the one meant to crown her as billionaire royalty, has turned into the very evidence powering his $5 billion lawsuit. Brutal? Absolutely. But that's Bezos. For him, it's never just business, it's war. And here we are, barely a month out from what the world called the wedding of the year. Lauren Sanchez is staring down a $5 billion legal inferno she can't escape. Her dream media empire shattered. Her exit publicly humiliating. The coldest blow. When she finally tried to reach out, hoping to salvage even a shred of connection, Bezos didn't yell. He didn't argue. He didn't budge. Just two words. Too late. And in that moment, it became clear. This wasn't an emotional implosion. It was a carefully staged takedown. Bezos anticipated every move and set a legal trap so sharp, so flawlessly executed, that even Lauren's own circle admits she walked right into it. The wedding became the stage, the prenup the weapon, and the lawsuit the final curtain. Now, Lauren is off the grid, her team gone, her public image vanished, and her brand ambitions reduced to ashes.